Namaste. Periyava Saranam. Valampuri Vinayagar. In worshipping Pullayar, knocking the temples with both hands, double up catching the ears, do puja with a special type of grass, offer modakam as naivedyam, etc. are very important. Similarly, going around him, circumambulating is also important. It is a custom to do a minimum of 3 rounds. Some people go around 21 times and some 108 times. If you go around Vigneshwara, who with the knowledge that the entire universe is only Parvati Parameshwara and got rewarded, we will also be rewarded. His stomach itself is round like the universe. Going round him will fetch us the fruit, strength of the body and the mind. He is also as Valampuri Vinayagar. Although there are lots of difference in the forms of Vinayaka, usually the Pullayars will be twisting the lower part of the trunk to the left. Rarely, in some places, he will be having it twisted to the right. Such a Pullayar is called Valampuri Vinayagar. Just as we attach special importance to the conch, which has its end curved to the right as Valampuri conch. Agama Shastra says that Valampuri Vinayaka has special powers of benediction. When the trunk is curved like this, to the right, this is a curve which Pullayar himself draws with one part of his body. If we start at the right edge of his mouth, go up the cheek and the head and go down the trunk and reach the curve at the bottom, this will be the outline of Om in Grantha Shastram. We will not get this Pranava form in Pullayar with the trunk curved to the left. Among the Valampuri Vinayaka Kshetras, Tiruvalanjuli near Kumbakonam is famous. In Maharashtra, there is more Ganapati worship. Pullayar, who is the Swami at the beginning, and Anjaneya, who is the Swami at the end, both are worshipped in a big way. During British imperialism, Sri Balagangadhar Tilak found a way of organizing people only through Pullayar. By installing huge Ganapati idols on Vinayaka Chauthuthi day and taking them in procession later, he collected huge crowds. Ganapadar are those who follow the path of Ganapatyam, in which Ganapati is worshipped as Supreme God. There are 6 branches within the same Vedanta, just as there are 6 ghats in the same river. In these, Ganapatyam lays down the worship of Ganapati for attaining moksha. Kaumaram prescribes the worship of Kumaraswamy, Murugan. Saktam prescribes the worship of Ambal. Vaishnavam is worship of Vishnu and Saivam is worship of Shiva. Because Adi Shankara streamlined the methods of worship in these 6 ways and established them as orthodox, he is known as Shanmata Pratishtapakacharya. In Maharashtra, where Ganapatyam has been largely in practice, there are 8 Kshetras for 8 Vinayaka, Ashta Vinayakar. Of this, the Pullayar called Mayuresar and his Kshetra Moregaon are famous. Moregaon is the changed form of Mayura Gramam. Around Moregaon, there are temples for Pullayar's retinue of Devatas in the same order in which they are to be around Pullayar. Mayuram has become Mail in Tamil and more in northern language. We are thinking that only Subramanya has more, peacock as his vehicle. According to the Puranas and the Tantra Shastras, Pullayar, who we think has only Mushikam, mouse, as his vehicle, has a form with peacock as his vehicle. He is Mayuresar. In the Kshetra Purana of Moregaon, Tiruvalanjuli of Tamil Nadu has been spoken of very highly. The name of the place has been mentioned as Dakshina Avartam. Dakshina means right and Avartam means curve. This Dakshinavartam is Pullayar's capital. It has been mentioned. The capital of Pullayar is a Sannidhi inside the Shiva temple of Tiruvalanchudi. Jnanasambandar and Appar have sung the Ishvara there. But the name and fame is all for the Pillayar. The mandapa in which Pillayar is has a lot of architecture. Particular mention must be made of the marble lattice. This lattice has been designed with 16 holes drilled and with fine architectural design. In accordance with the concept of Shodasa Ganapati, 16 forms of Ganapati, there are 16 holes there. 16 is fullness, Purnatvam. It is Shodasakala Purnam. It is said that because Devendra worshipped this Valamburi Vinayakar, who is of the full Purna form, Amrit, nectar came out of Kshirasagaram, ocean of milk. As if made of cream of milk, Pillayar is white. Because of the whiteness, the god's name is Sweta Vinayakar. Puja should be performed to him without touching him. Although he is like one of the retinue of God in a Shiva temple, Brahmotsavam, a 10-day festival, is celebrated only for him and not for Ishvara. There is another speciality in Tiruvalanchudi. Just as the Sweta Vinayakar is having the lower part of his trunk turned to the right, Kaveri also turns to the right here and flows onwards. There is close relationship between Kaveri and Vigneshwara. In Kodagu, on the Sakya mountain, Agasthyar was keeping Kaveri within his Kamandalu. It was Pillayar who took the form of a crow, toppled the Kamandalu and made the holy river run for the welfare of the world. We are duty bound to show devotion in a special way to Pillayar, who had given Tamil Nadu the Kaveri, who nurtures the body and mind. It is said that Kaveri, who crossed Karnataka and flowed through Tamil Nadu, after crossing Kumbakonam, disappeared into a cave. Then a Maharshi called Hirendar sacrificed himself. Immediately, Kaveri came out of the cave, surging, went round the Pillayar Kshetram, turned to the right and continued her onward flow. He who appeared as a black crow in Talakkaveri appears here as pure white. Tiruvalanchudi has the greatness that, in accordance with the saying, Pranavaswarupa Vakratunda, the Murti is Valamburi and the Tirtham Kaveri also flows to the right. Let us make our devotional rounds of Valampuri Vinayakar with the thought that even at temples where he is having his trunk to the left, he is Pranavaswarupi and be the recipient of all good. Periyava Saranam.